Hi, good morning, everybody. I think I've heard the participants are from India. Good morning, everyone. I am Ritesh Mehta. I'm an integration lead with SuccessFactors, and my role is to integrate SuccessFactors Employee Central and the recruiting mode applications with third-party cloud applications. Plus, I it's a client-side role. I'm in professional services, and I work like in various projects. And I also do the integration with the SAP's HCM system. And so that's a brief about the role I'm doing. And I've come from a on-premise background. I used to be an SAP NetWeaver architect about a year ago. So I've done lots of travel to customer places and done many on-premise implementations. I'm also a trained SAP HANA architect, so having a good, pretty much some good background about SAP HANA's architecture and the features. And the reason I wanted to do this webinar is because like I use this SAP Lumira product for one of the data gig challenge, and I use SuccessFactor data to use the presented using the like SAP Lumira, and it was very interesting. Like the power of Lumira is very so that it just made me to do more and more and digging into the Lumira. And secondly, there was like about 1.5 years before, I would be one of the few ones who did visual analytics on D3 and on SAP HANA. And my experience, I must say that that was for SAP. We were participating for SAP's demo jam in 2012, and unfortunately we couldn't do it. We ended up being into the TechEd booth, and that is the whole story which drive me through now to see Lumira's power and with extensions power. So just tell you a little bit in the background that when we wanted to do this integration and have a first visual analytics on D3, we practically had no platform. We actually had to write web services, and you have to write database the JDBC connector, make JDBC connector calls to the HANA database, make connected using web services, and then consume those web services on the D3. So yeah, I mean, it was for a techie as like me, it was a wonderful experience. But at the same time, like every time there is a small change on the HANA database, or there is a small change, like any small change on my database or some logic I have to make change in D3 all the time. Like I'm juggling between 3 different platforms, and unfortunately, what happened is like before, like submitting for the demo jam a day before, my code crashed. So that was like it was so unstable in that, and now I see that same feature I have to do it with the Lumira and extensions. I can do it with lot more stability and the flexibility in the architecture, and the tool provides those built-in connectors for the HANA. It allows me to write extensions based on D3, which will be anyways walking through, and so no more web services. And also, it connects to Lumira has a cloud version too, and the desktop version. So it's pretty much like, I'm avoiding a lot of layers, and it gives me kind of flexibility I'm looking for. So, and also, Lumira, of course, has so many out of the box, visual analytics options, around 20 plus. But still, it is now it is giving lot more flexibility and extension options just by giving a plugin, and where you can just put your D3 code, and D3 has such a great power about visual analytics. So pretty much you are there for what you are looking for. So now I will go and just give you an overview about the topics I'm going to cover. Lumira's overview and prerequisites, and next thing will be what and why, why we need to go for extensions. And I had a good word with the product manager of Lumira, so I would like to highlight that. Then I'll be going for a demo, sample extensions. I will show you how to write a small Hello World application on Lumira extensions, and then I will walk you through about one of the D3 chart extensions, I would say. I will give you a walkthrough, like what are the steps involved and where do you put what code, and as if time permits, I can do more deep dive in that. And then I also want to make sure that if not all of us are D3 experts, then I would like to highlight the D3's power, and with like, the capability D3 provides, it also adds a lot of complexity on, like, how you convert your raw data into the format what D3 is looking for. So what all you should keep in mind, and that's when your extension will be successful. So I would just cover some of those things, and then of course we'll go into the question and answer. So now, the overview, like as I said, like Lumira provides the visual analytics. It provides, like, out of box connector with business objects and SAP HANA and plain local CSV and whatnot. A lot of connector it provides, so it brings you data through the connector. Then it provides you a visual. I mean, you can create a visual analytics by putting lots of measures and dimensions on the data, and then you can have various kind of different visual analytics. And if you want to download, and if some of you might not have downloaded Lumira, you can download from sap.com/download Lumira. Yeah, one thing is, like, if you want to do the extensions, the Chrome browser is compulsory because the extension works on that. So you need that. Yes, and about the knowledge. Well, I would stress you need to have knowledge on JavaScript. You need to have little bit knowledge on jQuery, because if you are doing a D3 based programming, I think jQuery is helpful. You need to have lots and lots of knowledge on JSON, because D3 is pretty much like a JavaScript APIs, and data it consumes in, like, it needs to have, it will be in the JSON format. So, like, think about, like, if you're coming from a data background, like, your data will be either a table or a flat file, or like some sort of a structured data which is like in the columns and rows. And now the JSON is a Java. JSON is Java's term about, it's kind of arrays, and then you have to convert those tables into arrays, and, like, the nested level of JSON. If you have to go through, then it really adds complexity. I've worked on, like, as I said, like, I did a HANA database connectivity with D3 directly without even Lumira in place, and I know that complexity about how to make a JSON which meets to your need requirement. Like, that requires a lot of JavaScript work, or, like, if you are doing, like, if you are putting some web service to do that work, then some sort of Java coding. So that is important to know. And and then that's why, like, if you have some visual analytics which can be done by out of box visuals given by Lumira, then of course you should leverage that, because it covers behind the hood all those complexities. And D3, yes, I would say the major reason why we should think about extension is to do very advanced level of visual analytics, and which is D3 provides. But at the same time, D3 also has its own complexity. Okay. Now let us understand what a product manager, and, like, what we all should understand why we are doing the extension. So my simple question was that why do I need extensions? Because I can have there are a lot of key aspects about I mean, like there are a lot of features and visual analytics charts and geomaps and everything is provided by Lumira tool. So this is an answer. Like, yes, we have 20 plus chart types and mostly it's for analytics purposes. But if there are any specific area of business, I think in the further webinars I've seen that we will be covering. There will be some business specific needs. And then if you want few charts, currently they are not provided by Lumira. And if I want to take it further, that see, we are also giving with extensions, we are giving platform to the partners that if they have a Lumira extension and a pretty good analytics, they have an option that they can use SAP Store to even sell it. So we are keeping it as a platform where you can make your own product, your requirement, a specific requirement, how much ever advanced you want. Plus, if you are a partner and you want to sell that and you think that it's a value add for the ecosystem, you can do that too. So yeah, that's pretty powerful. I mean, that's what all the other SAP products we have, like NetWeaver products, or we have in NetWeaver suites, right? Like any pretty much BAP or NetJa or CI. We have lots and lots of options of extensions. So it's a good opportunity. I mean, SAP gives opportunity to ecosystem to evolve and to rise. So yes, that's a good advantage about going for extension. Okay, I also asked can I use a data source which I already have set up other visual charts? So I didn't do more deep dive into the extensions capability, but then later I realized that it is another visualization, like in standard visualization. So all the data sources we have already used for the standard visualization, we can straight away use in the extension. Yeah, at the same time, we have to make sure that which I will show you in the when we go into the the demo, that when you have to start doing your extension, you need to upload a sample data load or payload so that it understands the structure on which I need to do the analytics. That's only from the design perspective. But in the runtime, it takes the actual data which you get it from data source. So it's pretty powerful, right? I mean, just imagine if you think from a programming side, an MVC architecture, model view, and controller, then Lumira tool pretty much provides you model, which is the data connector. It also provides you controller, how you navigate in the screen. And all you have to focus is on the view part. Yeah, I mean, if you think from MVC development perspective, view doesn't require as much development as you have to spend on model and controller. So yeah, I mean, we should, as a programmer, I would like to, I appreciate that part as more than I appreciate as a probably end user or business side. And then I also asked does it support predictive analytics? So it's a yes, technically yes answer, but yeah, I mean, it adds some more complexity, and I think even I have not done a deep dive on how the predictive analytics works on Lumira, so I would just ask this question. And if you have further questions, please feel free to ask. We will find from some experts in our group. Okay, now I think I won't take much time. It's a good overview, and we should get into the a sample extension, how to do it. We can always start with a simple and then get into complex. So I might be showing you a simple hello world, but that's not we are looking in extension for, but it's just that it will be a good start to do that. Okay, so I think I can show you some steps. The first thing what we need to do, where is Lumira? So if you have downloaded Lumira, you will find it in the program files and SAP Lumira, and then you have various folders, desktop and all that. Inside the desktop, you need to keep in mind few folders. Then see, you have a folder for extensions. So Lumira might have existing extensions when you download, and then if you are creating your own extensions, you will have to copy it over there pretty much. And then how do you work on the extensions? How do you write your extensions? So Lumira has a tool which is called Stacker, and this Packer is a tool which runs on, as I said, it runs on Chrome. So then you have to open it on the Chrome. I mean, just make sure that you know the path. It's SAP Lumira, then desktop, utilities, Packer, and then you have to open a Packer.html. So, okay. So you can see in my screen how it looks like, and then I will go through the few of the sections. So now this is your layout in which you'll be like making your visualization work. I think I don't have like more on the legend or the title, so I will take it off. Then first thing I need to do is like change the property, the name of the chart, the ID. It's like a Java thing where you have to make some changes. I think we prefer, I mean, I've checked in some blogs and they prefer that not to put the dots, and so I will be doing something like that. And that's for the chart, and then for the plot area. So there is a chart, inside chart you have a plot area, and that's like a design of the extension and pretty much other visualizations. Okay. Fine. That is about the layout. And here you find there is a render function. So this render function is the one which renders your chart, visual chart. And what it does is like it takes the data using this F data. So this F data is a variable through which you will get the data on this view. I would say in the view you get this data, and then if you see this code that this is all pretty much D3 code, which is written for right now. The sample what we have is for one thing. Okay, it's resolution or something. So we have some sample. I would say like some sample example, and for that this D3 code is there. So in short, this is the F data. That's where you will get all the data in the HTML file. This is the data which you'll be getting. Okay, I'll go further onto this. And like when you are writing your extensions, so and every time you will open the extension, you will see this code. I mean, every time you open the Packer, you will see this code. So I would say you can remove all the code which is between before and if you have done like some WebBin Pro programming or any other SAP's, extensions, other extensions on NetWeaver, you will know that SAP provides you the start and end section all the time, and in between you should write the code. And it also has a section for functions, and you should write your code on this section too, which I will show you like what is next over there. So right now, as I said, we'll start with a simple hello world, and I have some code for that, which I'll be typing in. Yeah, it shows me hello world. So just to show you like what are the further steps you need to do. So once you have this code in place, then what you need to do? You need to pack it. So you click on pack, it creates a zip file for you, and then you click in the zip file, and it will be in the downloads folder. Okay, if I go to the downloads folder, downloads, and I think that's the one I just created. So what you need to do is you need to extract it, and it has bundles, and we are inside the bundles. You have this code. So if you see this JavaScript, here, it's another screen I have. So if you see this JavaScript, it's the same script code which you have written here. See, this is what we need to now upload for the Okay, so we need to use the same code for Lumira's extension. So now I copy this folder, I go to Lumira's program files and SAP Lumira, desktop, and extension inside the bundles. Now I'll be copying that. You see this folder, SAP Wiz. I've copied it. Now there's one thing like in Lumira, it doesn't do auto refresh if you anytime you add new extensions into that. So just make sure that you just close the Lumira which is open and then open the Lumira desktop again. Now my Hello World program is could be based on any of the samples. So right now I'm just taking this sample which is SAP has already provided. Sample as in like I think if you might have the package, what it has is like it has the data, it has a few of the existing visualization, and I'm going to add one more visualization. When I say new visualization, now if I see here, I have a lot of options here, and because I've been doing some prototypes, so I have bunch of extensions, but this is the latest one which we created, Hello World Race 2, and I select that. It allows us with, like by default you need to give some margins and dimensions, right? Then, but you see it shows me Hello World here. So that's a simple Hello World extension. Is to show you that what are the steps you need to do to create an extension. Then I'll also show you like if you have to save your extension, because like you will be working on your extension quite, and let's say I want to save it, then there is an option here called save it, and it saves as a .profile file, and let's say you already saved it, and I'm just closing it now, and I open the Lumira extensions again, this packer, and Chrome. So now see my code is not there, right? Like every time I open it, it's not. Then what I should do is like I click on open, and you will find I saved it on the downloads. Hello World profile. Click on that, and see my code is there. So that's how I do the version control. Like, you know, if I have to, so there are two different things. Like the zip file, what I showed you is like a version of your extension, but then this is a design time. So design time, keep in mind it's a .profile file, and the runtime is that zip file which has a JavaScript which you will be deploying on which you will be copying in the folder called bundles in Lumira's extension folder. So this is about the Hello World. Now I will go further on to the to an extension which which is D3 based. It's for D3 bullet chart. Someone said the audio is lost. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. That's good, because I was seeing some message. Okay. So now, what we should do is, like, we should understand how the D3 based visualization you can do. So I will go into the Okay, fine. So, okay, just to give you a background that I will go further into, I mean, I'm not going right now further more into, like, how, what is the bullet chart in the D3, and rather I will tell you some steps. We'll do a reverse engineering. I will tell you what I did actually on the Lumira side, extension side, and then we will cover back into the D3 side. Okay, so fine. So if you, for the D3, I have, so this is my data. It's about the company's revenue and all those details, ranges, and actual pace and target, and how finally it will look like on the. Sorry, I just let me go back into the code part, and then I will come into the visualization. So to give you an overview, like for a D3 based visualization is okay, is that it has like some sort of D3 as a specific API. As I said, like it needs to have the data in the JSON format, and then it also has certain logic which you need to follow, and so what we are doing here is, like, first we are creating the data on the data model, and we are defining which are my dimension and which are my measures. And the dimension and measures what you specify here are becoming, like, it will define the JSON of D3. And once you do that, you will have to write your D3 logic on this section called functions out here. Okay, so so all the logic what you need to do is, like, when you decide a D3 chart, which you need to use the extension and use the extension to make this D3 visualization available on Lumira. You will download the D3 chart from the d3js.org, and then you take the code, and then the same code you have to put it in Lumira. So your rendering, so the logic what you have about how the D3 visualization works, you put inside a section called function, and in the function you will have the entire logic which is required for D3 rendering. Okay, this is the entire logic. So it is a lot of logic which if I have to walk you through. And second of all, once you put the logic, and where it will, from D3, where you will find that, it will be in, okay, I think it, I hope you are able to visualize what I'm saying, but, and, okay. Okay, this is so suppose, assuming that you had downloaded your D3, so you had all your logic in this in the JavaScript from the D3, and then you are using this code in the Lumira extension. Okay. So that's how it is. And then whatever the logic you have in your HTML side is whatever logic you need in an HTML side, to render it from the D3, like how to create a chart and visualization for that, and all this logic you will have to put inside the section render. So you can think like render is like an HTML portion of your D3, and then you have your JavaScript, which you require for D3, which does the data conversion, which converts the data into the visual to the SVG. All those logic you will have to put here, which is called function in the in Lumira side. Once you do all that, and same thing and also if you want to maintain the look and feel of what you have in D3, then you have to put a variable for page styles and hit that. And along with that, what you need to do is whatever the data you are having in the CSV. This is sample CSV to model your extension. So when you get that, you have to add those dimensions and measures right away here. So it allows you to create a JSON accordingly. So if I run the code, I put a JavaScript alert here, and you see now how the D3 is taking, your columns are revenue and, your title and subtitle columns, you see order size, US average, they are under the title for titles, and then you have ranges. So if you see the ranges are range 1 and 2, what you see in this columns here, out here, range 1 and range 1, range 2, range 3. So if you run the code, see they are converted into the JSON format by this before the renderer, the S data. So you can understand this flat table is now in JSON format, and once it is in JSON format, it's the same sort of logic what you would have got it in D3. Okay, so with that, we will also show you one of the working ones. Sorry, I had it open and just left it like that. CSV. Okay. So my title and subtitle. Oh, because it's in the title. Okay. So once you add this thing, there are few basic things you have to do that. There in the ranges, you have range 1, range 2, range 3. Target, okay. So this is a D3. so this is the same D3 chart which we created on using this package. So I think here I conclude my demo. I would take it further into my presentation. and I covered like a step-by-step approach for help. And if you want to go all the steps how to do that, there's enough material available on SPN for that. And there are few other there are few other advanced examples are also there on the SPN. And now I just want to, I think you would have got some idea how the extension works, and yeah, it will require some work for you to digest. I think if you just follow the webinar, all the steps may not work, so you will have to go through the SDN link and go through step by step on that. But just to give a perspective, why do we, if you have not seen a D3 before, then I will show you what D3 can provide you. So you see all these visualizations here, they're all provided by D3. And let's say I will go one of the examples. So you should start from, you should go through d3js.org and see various examples what D3 has provided. And see whatever whatever visualization you want to do. What good thing is D3 website provides you this index.html where you have a code for the D3 and all the scripting and all that. And if you see that for every visualization they will have sample payload, and that's the JSON. And now you have to think that not only maybe you can reuse the logic of rendering the diagram, but then you need to understand what is your data structure from the source side, and what D3 would be looking for is this structure. Let's say the unique data, there's every array, there are multiple arrays are involved in this visualization. Then how to do that? Some other one is like the bullet chart we just now saw, right? We just now saw the same bullet chart, and if you see that, where is the data? This is the same code we took, but see the JSON. We saw, right? We had a title and subtitle and ranges and measures, and this is what we used. We converted the flat file into this JSON format. So when you see it in the preview mode here, okay, this pattern when I was running the code, see this JavaScript alert. This is what the extension tool did is it converted this data model into this JSON format, and then so that's really a great power, right? It does most of your work, and it allows you to use most of the code which is available on D3. So you might have to put little effort. So I would say little effort in understanding how to properly make your data model in order to fit to D3. And secondly, you have to fix, there might be some runtime errors which you have to fix them. Okay, and as you see, the D3 is so much is available on D3, and if you start implementing all that, it will take a lot of time to ramp up on your skills on D3, and believe me that it really takes time to understand. So if you want to if you want to learn more on D3, I would recommend everyone to go through this web document, which is a web book on D3. It is for interactive data visualization for the web, and that will give you a lot of insight about D3 programming. So I would say you need to know D3 programming, plus you know how to write the extensions, and now also know that once you do write the extensions for Lumira, how to add that extension further into your storyboard, and also you know that as you see that all the data sources what I have in Lumira, I can use it for my extensions too. So that is about, like, you know, the next step about the references I said. There's one more thing I just wanted to, when I was researching more on done, you can pass it for the question and answer, but I just want to take one more minute to say that even like there are, you know, independent research done, and they say that what is the advantage of Lumira is that it takes a lot of data from business objects, and it has out-of-box integration on the data side, and now it has a lot of features about extensions. So, yeah, so this is a great comparison has been done here, and I would say I recommended you see them. So I think, Ruchi, I conclude here.